Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share a folio that I did. I used Ginger from my sister's scrapper. I used her Graphic 45 waterfall folio tutorial, and also I used a tutorial by Memories by Leah. It was her Cityscapes Graphic 45 mini album PDF tutorial, and I will link to those in the description. And I'll also link to Leah's Etsy shop, where you can also purchase that tutorial if you're interested. So let's dive right in. This one is a tribute to King Francis. He was one of my favorite persons, and I had the opportunity to go to France and visit some of his castles, and he was just an amazing person to me. So I was inspired to do this folio. Now this is a folio with a carrying case, and it's very heavy as well, very heavy. I'm gonna put this up a bit so we can see. Okay, so the measurements, these are approximate measurements because of the case. So the case is about 10 3/4 by 6 7/8. And then the folio that's inside is about 8 7/8 by 5 1/2. Now the folio part was from my sister Scrapper Ginger, and her folio was a little bit smaller. I just changed the measurements a little bit because the case was so large. So on the outside, if you'll see in Leah's tutorial, she really makes a sturdy box. So she has these border these pads that also go on the side of the box. I made my own book cover. Leah doesn't use paper for her scrapbook albums, and so I started using book cover, and I talked about book cover in a previous video, and it was just too expensive for me to buy, so I started making my own book cover. I think I linked to a tutorial, and it's the best one. I could find the easiest one. But the music is horrible, so you may want to just turn your speakers down and just look at what she's doing. So I made my own book cover though, and I keep quite a bit of it. But all this is some cotton, black cotton fabric, 100% cotton, and some black tissue paper. And then I have some of that, I think it's Heat and Bond and Stick or something. Just I got it out of the fabric. But if you look at that one of my videos, I can't remember which one, and I don't have that many out there, so it's not like you'll have to weed through them. But if you look, I did mention and link it in one of my videos. If I can remember, I'll link it again into this one. But this is all book cover. And this is that faux suede paper from Joann's. I absolutely love that stuff, so I have tons of it. It just makes things look so nice and elegant and very well finished. This is some royal cord that I got from Joann's as well. And this just, it looked regal, so I thought that would look really cool on there. This is one of the chipboard pieces from the paper that I used to cover. And of course, you already know that I used Graphic 45's French Country. This one is Grandeur. And I used the front and the back, and you'll see the back of it. And then I also used Montage, and I used the front and the back of this one, and you'll see that as well. And then on the top, and I covered the top, I covered everything. So this is Grandeur, and this is some filler paper, but it is a Graphic 45 as well. And then this little brad here, this is a, what is that? Stampin' Up! Antique brad is what that is. So this top part comes off, And as you can see, I mean, when I tell you that lady makes a sturdy box, she makes a sturdy. This is a weapon. And here is the B side of that paper. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's the B side, and I covered the inside. Everything is inked with vintage photo. Tim Holtz Ranger vintage Distress Ink vintage photo. Okay, so, and then the folio comes out, and again, I use some filler paper there, and then there's the B side of the other paper. And then these little bumper pads here, hers were kind of recessed in, but I liked mine out because she just had a little bit of lip, and that my box top kept falling off. So I made my bumper pads, as you see. I think they stick out maybe like a ½ an inch or so. So that helps the top to stay on as well. So here's my folio, and again, we use some of the Grandeur paper and some more of the Royal Cord. And then here is the faux suede paper. And then on the back, I just left it just plain. It just looks really, really good. And then this is some black seam binding. And then what I did is I fray checked the ends to keep it from unraveling, and then I just tied knots in there. This this die is from Spellbinders Card Creator. I think this is Valiant Honor. And then I have a little acetate window right here, and then you can just stick something down in there. I haven't decided what I'm going to put. Probably maybe a picture of his garden or something like that. He had some amazing gardens. And what I did is I cut this out about 4 times on some 110 cardstock. And the 4th layer is actually some of the montage paper. And then I just put it on top of there. So that's how I kind of made that frame. And then you open this up. And again, I'll link to Ginger's, I'll link to her tutorial as well. So these are just some cut aparts from the French Country paper. I have tons of that paper. I'm going to be just mortified when it runs out. And then just to, if I was going to give this away, but that would be a no, I just wanted to make sure I remembered that these are 4x4. These will hold a 4x4 picture, so that's what that is. Just a little, I don't know if I can get you in there. That's just a little place photo here, and I just put on there 4x4 just so I can remember. And then here is the B-side of Grandeur. Here's the B-side of that, and I think that just turned out really, really well. And then over here, I used some of the 6x6 paper pad. This, most of this is the 12x12. And I also used some of the 8x8. I tell you, I have tons of this paper. And then here's some more of the filler paper on the back. So this is from the 6x6, and there's filler paper 6x6. And this is filler paper, and I believe this one is from A Proper Gentleman, I believe. This one, I'm not too sure where that one is from, but I know it's graphic 45. And then I think this will hold how many? 8, 16, something like that. I don't plan to put any pictures on the outside, just we'll start here. And then I left this wide enough so if I wanted to journal anything, I can type my strip and put it in there. So it will hold 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 pictures. So, and I know at least 200 pictures of just his garden alone because it was just so beautiful. And that is it. That's my little Folio in a case, and I call this one my French Country Grandeur Folio with the case. Well, that is it for now. Thank you so very much for stopping by, and until next time, bye-bye.